My name is Shayla, and today I'm here to film my mid-month wrap-up for you. So in the first half of September, I've read a decent amount, but not as much as I normally do. So we're just going to dive right in to what I have gotten read, and we'll just get going with this month because I think it's going to be a great time. All right, so let's start with digital reads. I have a few digital volumes of manga that I've read, and so we're going to talk about those real quick. The first is My Pink is Overflowing Volume 3. This was fantastic. This is where things start to get real smutty, and I'm living for it. So definitely check out My Pink is Overflowing. I don't know how long this series is going to be, but I'm definitely really enjoying it for what it is right now. Next up, we have Our Precious Conversations Volume 4. This, again, is by Robico, which is the same mangaka that does My Little Monster. These are little short run-ins between two high schoolers. She confesses to him in the first instance, and he says, well, that's rude. And he's like, it's rude of you to force your feelings on me when you don't even know me. And so this is like their journey to get to know one another. He's finally coming around to the idea of feelings for her. It's really sweet. It's really cute. I really love it. The next one we have is Smile Down the Runway Volume 1. This is a new shoujo series in which we're dealing with a girl whose father is a fashion designer and she's always wanted to be a model, but she is very short. She's like 5'2", 5'3" maybe is all. And so she is not model height. And she comes across this boy at school who loves to sew, and he's trying to keep it a secret. And so he designs clothes for her, and she gets noticed. And it's one of these things where they kind of get sucked into the fashion world. It's really fun, but if you don't like fashion, this isn't going to be the series for you because it is heavily centered around it. So definitely keep that in mind as you check out this particular volume of manga. Let's keep going with the manga, shall we? So next up we have The Way of the House Husband by Kosuke Uno. This is about a member of the Yakuza who is named the Immortal Dragon, who retires to be a house husband because his wife is a designer and he wants to support her in her career. So he is the house husband. He makes her lunch. He cleans the house. He does the grocery shopping, all of those things. This is hilarious. I have a dedicated video to it, so I will leave that linked for you with more details. But yes, definitely check out The Way of the House Husband. Next we have Become You by Ichigo Takano. This is Takano's new published work in the US, and this is all revolving around music. So we have Taiyu, who's a musician who dreams of stardom, but he's really an artist. And then we have a guy who is very musically talented but doesn't play music anymore. And it's kind of about their interactions and how they play off each other. And the retired musician wants to help the person striving in music to become an artist again. It is so beautiful. I teared up more than once. This definitely has the feels of Orange. Like, I really think there's going to be some similarities and some of the things that have been implied within the volume that I think are spoilery, so I won't say. But definitely check out Become You. It was really, really good, as always, in Takano's beautiful art style, and I really just enjoyed it, so definitely check this one out. Next up, we have the next volume of Snow White with the Red Hair by Sorota Akiduki, is how I want to say that. But anyways, we're continuing to follow Zen and Shiryuki as they continue to grow and evolve within their story, and we're not current with the anime yet, so this isn't new content for me, but it was so well done. I always love it. The art style is just so pretty and cute, and I just love this. So definitely check out Snow White with the Red Hair if you haven't. This is a great, solid fantasy shoujo in which we follow Shiryuki, who's not on this cover. She has red hair, and the prince of her kingdom, wants her to become his concubine. She says, no thanks, you just want my hair. So she cuts off her hair and leaves to the neighboring kingdom, where she runs into Zen and his two companions, and things move on from there. I won't spoil anything else for you, but know that this is fantastic. One of my all-time faves. Definitely check it out. Next, we have The Demon Prince of Momochi House. We are coming in on the end of this. I believe it ends at volume 16, and this is volume 14, so we only have 2 more volumes. The series is definitely winding down. I really like where this is headed. This definitely has kind of the feels of Kami-sama Kiss, but different, where we're dealing with Himari Momochi, who is left the deed to a house. She goes to the house, finds squatters, and finds that one of them is a demon who protects the house. And that's kind of where we go from there. It's really interesting. I really like it. It took about 5 or 6 volumes for me to truly be invested in the characters. It was a little more slow burn. So that might be the case for you, but continue to give it a try. I promise it'll be worth it. Next up, we have Kakiryo Bed and Breakfast for Spirits, Volume 5. I continue to really enjoy this one as it moves along. I know there's an anime out. I don't know how far the anime goes, but I might try that now that I'm 5 volumes in, because I don't think I'll run into too much, because I think it's only a 12-episode anime. But yes. Anyways, this is about a teenage girl whose father left a grand debt in the demon world, and so the owner of Kakiryo, who is an ogre, says that she has to marry him, but instead she's like, no, I'm going to try to pay off the debt and work my own restaurant, and I just love her strength, love her as a human. She's great. Next on this list, I did start Witch Hat Atelier, so we've got Volume 1 and Volume 2. This is where we follow Coco, who is a young girl who loves to look at the beauty of magic, and when she realizes that magic isn't as hard to learn or as mysterious to learn as people think, she tries out magic for herself and ends up casting a spell, committing a taboo, and now she has been sent to this atelier as an apprentice to learn magic now that she knows the secret. So it's fantastic, really well done, definitely has that Ghibli-esque art style to it. It's absolutely stunning. I really love it. Definitely check out this series. The next one, I don't really need to introduce. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I loved this so much. Definitely check out this series if you haven't. I am fully invested. I wish it published faster because I'm now current, but I am totally okay with it because it is so stunning and so beautiful. I mean, as I was reading this, I literally was taking pictures and posting them because it was just too pretty. It's so good. It's so well done. You're following various different storylines, but the primary storyline that you follow is about a woman who is 20, who is sent to marry her soon-to-be husband, to marry a man, and ends up married to a 12-year-old boy. Nothing naughty has happened between the two of them, other than they sleep in the same bed. Nothing bad has happened because she is waiting for him to grow up and get older. And time period-wise that this takes place in, because it is historical, that wasn't as taboo as it is to us today, especially with it being reversed where he is younger than her. So she's waiting for him to grow up and mature and become more of a man before they do anything or start their family. But yes, so just know that that is a part of the story. But we follow lots of other storylines that are beautiful and stunning, and I absolutely love and adore this, so please check it out. Next we have Cats of the Louvre by Taiyo Matsumoto. And my friends at Viz were kind enough to send this along to me. I ended up reading this while I was on my trip to Florida. And this is about this little white cat named Snow Baby. And Snow Baby and these other stray cats live in the attic of the Louvre. And so at night, they'll kind of come out and prowl. But Snow Baby can go in and out of the paintings. And so it makes for a really interesting plot line because the caretaker of these particular cats had an experience when he was younger where his sister entered a painting and never came back out. And so he wants Snow Baby to go in and fetch his sister. And it's fantastic. It's beautiful. The art is absolutely stunning. And you actually do get pieces of actual art within this. It is so beautiful. I really, really love how they did this. And this beautiful hardback edition is just solid. And it's sewn at the top, not glued, so I know that's a thing for people, but it's definitely sturdy. It went in my carry-on, got tossed around a little bit, but it's still in great condition. So I highly recommend checking out Cats of the Louvre. It's beautiful. It's just this one shot. That's all you have to do. It's not a volume 1. This is the entire story. So you will pay a little more for it because it is a beautiful hardback, but I promise it's worth it. This is out on the 17th. So by the time that this video is up, it should be out. So definitely check out Cats of the Louvre. And thanks again to my friends at Viz for sending this to me to read for all of you. All right, now we're just into books and let's go. First up, we have The Wallflower Wager by Tessa Dare. This is another Girl Meets Duke historical romance. And we're dealing with the animal collector spinster and the new money duke who moves in next door. And it's fantastic. It's so well done. The snark is just perfect. Tessa Dare walks that line so well. And because this is a romance, we all know how it's going to end, so I don't want to give away anything else. But it's definitely good and fun, and I really thoroughly enjoyed this. So again, if you like historical romances or bodice rippers, Tessa Dare is your girl, man. Like, it's good. Her smut, top notch. Next we have At His Mercy by Shelley Bell. Now, if you remember, I read another Shelley Bell book earlier this year, and this is BDSM smut, like in the lifestyle of BDSM smut. And it's not going to be for everybody because there's that power dynamic, and that's not comfortable for everybody. So you have to know that going in. And there is, you know, physical things outside of sexual things that are happening during the physical times or the sexual times. So if you're not comfortable with that, definitely don't pick up this book. But Shelley Bell knows how to write a sex scene. She knows how to build up your anticipation with the person in the scenario. It is so well done. It's fantastic. There's one more in this trilogy that I haven't read yet, but there's plans to read it soon. So wait for that. Next up, we have my most disappointing read so far this month, and that is Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Lindsay and I were buddy reading this, and we ended up DNFing it a little over 100 pages in. It was just too scattered. I do think it will translate well to TV, so I'm still going to check out the TV show, but I could not follow it very well in the text. It was too all over the place. It wasn't streamlined enough for me. So that was disappointing because I was really hoping to love it. Neverwhere is one of my favorites. So I had high hopes going into this one, but I do still intend to check out the show, so all is not lost. Next we have The Harp of Kings by Juliette Marillier. This is new out from Ace Books, and we're dealing with Fae, and we're dealing with, there's a pronunciation guide in the front of this because all of the names are insanely crazy, but this is Livon. So we follow Livon as she wants to become this female warrior, and her brother wants to become a bard, and they're both sent on this undercover mission to recover this historical harp to be played for the newborn prince, because if it is not played, it will not bless the kingdom, and all sorts of things. It is an epic adventure. It was such a good time. I read this also while in Florida mostly, and I read a little bit once I got home, obviously, but this is really good fantasy. I ended up giving this either 4 or 5 stars. I can't remember, but it's solid, really good. If you like Marillier's prose, which are a little on the flowery side, you'll be just fine. But if you don't like flowery prose, this is not going to be the fantasy for you. But I'm a Juliette Marillier stan, so I was in happiness as reading this. As I was reading this, I was very happy. So know that, and yes, definitely check this one out. And then last but not least, for physical reads is The Tiger at Midnight by Swati Teerdala. I buddy read this with Lindsay over at Lindsay Tutt. This ended up being kind of a wild ride, definitely a catch me if you can cat and mouse style fantasy in which we're dealing with a woman who is part of an undercover secret service trying to take down the government, and the person left in charge of everything after the leader is killed early on. And yes, so it's this cat and mouse where he's trying to catch her and she likes him, but she needs to keep getting away because she can't be caught, and all of these kinds of things. It's really good, but this definitely is diverse to me, not my native culture. And I ended up really enjoying this read a lot. I thought it was well written, and I'm definitely looking forward to more in this series. Lindsay and I will probably buddy read them all because we're kind of permanent buddy read partners now. That's what I read in the first half of September. I will include all of the audiobooks in the latter half of the next wrap-up. I'll include them all there. That's what I'm trying to say. I've filmed like multiple videos, so I'm getting a little tired. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.